Hey there, rental business owners. Today, reliable accountants assisting you to break down an important topic for you, how the Australian Tax Office, or ATO, distinguishes between commercial residential property and residential property for tax purposes. Understanding these differences can help you stay compliant and save you from potential headaches. First up, let's talk about commercial residential property. These are typically used to provide short-term accommodation and are generally subject to GST. Think hotels, motels, and yes, certain types of Airbnbs. Here are some key characteristics. They operate like a business, offering short-term stays, usually less than 28 days. They provide additional services like cleaning, reception, and even dining or entertainment facilities. If your turnover from these activities exceeds $75,000 annually, you must register for GST. So if your rental business offers short-term stays with services and amenities, it's classified as a commercial residential property. In this case, you need to charge GST if you cross that turnover threshold. Now let's move on to residential property. This type is primarily used for long-term housing and is input taxed under GST law, which means no GST is charged on rent. Key characteristics include being used for long-term accommodation, usually for individuals or families. Tenancy agreements are typically for periods of 6 months or more. No additional services like housekeeping or reception are provided. So if your rental business is rented out for long-term stays without extra services, it's classified as a residential property. That means no GST on the rent. To wrap it up, if your Airbnb is used for short-term stays with services, you might need to register for GST. If it's for long-term rentals without extra services, it's considered a residential property and you don't charge GST. Understanding these classifications helps you comply with your GST obligations and keeps your hosting experience smooth and stress-free. Thanks for tuning in. If you're operating a rental business or have any questions, feel free to contact reliable accountants at 1300049534.